Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Studio 78 podcast. I am your host, Nache from NacheSnow.com. Before I jump into this episode, let me just give you a little bit of background. LaKaye and I recorded about an hour and a half episode talking all things 2022, 2023, goal planning, financial planning, productivity tips, color of the year, word of the year, you name it. The episode was super long, so I broke it into chunks. Part 1 is the longest part, which is episode 159. You can go to NacheSnow.com/159 to watch, listen, and get all the links, or go on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, you name it, to have a listen. So I'm hoping that you've already listened to that episode, which is why you have now tuned into episode 160 to hear the finale, basically us talking about what we plan to achieve in 2023. And we also talk a little bit about our big wins for 2022. Really, it's a motivational episode, a quick episode, kind of the last 20 minutes of our conversation where we talk about manifestation and believing in yourself. So I just hope this last part of our 2-part series really motivates you. And of course, anything that we mentioned on this particular segment, part 2, will be over at, all the links will be over at NacheSnow.com/160. And don't forget to check out the Life Cleanse Journal, my friends. You can go to NacheSnow.com/TLC. That'll take you over to the shop arm of my business. And you can get a digital or hard copy version of the journal. It asks you very, very personal questions in 10 areas of your life. So you can then look back, reflect on what you've said, and take action. Trust me, my friends, it works. We all need to do a better job of taking time to self-reflect and really thinking about what we want to do. So if that appeals to you or something you think might help you in this new year, definitely head on over to the website, take a look, and purchase if it seems like it will meet your needs. All right. And also remember, if you love this episode, please rate me 5 stars on Apple Podcasts, thumbs up on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube, and wherever you're listening, please subscribe. And still waiting for someone to leave me a message on SpeakPipe. Come on, guys. Come on. I'm waiting. All right. Let's get right into it. Let's talk about just a few wins this year and kind of what we're looking forward to in 2023.
You go first.
Okay.
Name one win.
I got a house. I weighed the pros and cons. And I'll just say this. I'll try to be brief, which I'm never brief, but after I was in the apartment during COVID, and I loved my apartment. Y'all, I love my apartment. My apartment was freaking sweet. It's floor-to-ceiling windows right near the water. I mean, it was sweet. And on top of that, I had more discretionary funds because it fit within my budget perfectly, so I could invest. Like, life was good. Getting a house complicates my life. Okay, let's be super duper duper clear, right? Like, now my budget is crazy tight and I still need to get stuff done, and it complicates my life. So I just say that to let people know that it wasn't like this easy decision, and it wasn't something that I had to do. But what I did is I weighed the pros and cons, and what I realized during COVID is I didn't like, one, not having control over my living spaces where someone could tell me who could come in and out of the building, and if the power goes out, it's not like I could really have a generator, maybe have a generator. There was just some things like, if there's a zombie apocalypse, I have no control, and I don't like that. And then the second thing that, I thought about is I couldn't do things like stained glass in the apartment. It just didn't work. And I wasn't going to take all that equipment to the rooftop. I was looking for a studio, but that just didn't work out either. And so I considered that. And then the last thing I'll mention is I am divorced. I make decent money. And Uncle Sam freaking loves me. I have no kids. I need a tax write-off. And I need an investment for the future too, right? And so when I weighed all of those things, and there was like some cons on the list too. DC is super expensive. It was going to take up like literally almost all of my discretionary funds. Houses are sometimes a money pit. You just end up putting more and more money into it, regardless if, you know, it's a new house, an old house, or whatever. And it's more responsibility. I don't have no concierge anymore. That's going to sound real bougie.
I think that's the bougiest thing I've ever heard you say.
But you know what? I'm going to tell, and people have heard me talk about this on the podcast before. I came from having nothing, really. It took 20 years to get here, friends. Okay? Of hard work. When I got here in '01, I made nothing, and I was thousands in debt. I pulled myself out of a freaking hole, a debt hole. I saved my freaking money. I worked hard. At points, I had multiple jobs, worked really hard to get here. And so I worked really hard for that concierge.
So you could say concierge with pride.
With pride. But anywho, so for me to get this house in DC is a huge win. And the last thing I'll say before we get to yours is another thing about that too is when I got to the DC area in 2001, I was like, wow, I wish I could live in DC because I couldn't afford it.
It's not an easy thing to do. People live on the outskirts. Oh, I'm going to live in Maryland. I'm going to live in Northern Virginia.
Right? But I'm a city girl. And I tried to make the suburban life work because it was more affordable. But it really didn't work for me. And so for me to 21 years later, almost 22 years, be able to live where I want to live and get something like what I have now, and it's nothing fancy, is a huge, huge accomplishment for me as a single Black woman. I am extremely proud of myself. And I'll leave it at that.
I'm extremely proud of you too.
Thanks, LaKaye.
You're welcome.
Okay, what was your big win of 22?
Oh, it's not as neatly packaged as that. My win is that I believed in myself enough to basically November and December, I made more money in my photography business than I ever have ever. And I've been a photographer for a very long time. Right. So thank you. So I don't even know how to put it into words. The comfort you feel when you're not scrapping for money. I know, Shada, it was a long time ago I don't know if you remember what that feels like.
But, I remember.
So it was just such a weight off of my chest. And I don't know how to accurately describe what it feels like to understand how to make the money. So that's why my word was consistency, because I need to do all of those things over and over again every month. I know it's supposed to be about the win, but my brain is like, I don't know. Can you repeat this every month?
You can. You will, and you can. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's that positive mindset. Because I feel like right before that happened, we had a conversation about manifestation.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right? And I think...
So I manifested a house, but it wasn't the way it came to me. Things don't always come to you the way that you want them to come. I'm in my mom's house. My mom passed. I manifested a house, and I'm happy to be here, but it's not the same as... I can't put that in my win category, you know?
No, that's fair. But you manifested wanting to make more money too, right?
I did. Did I?
Yeah.
Okay. If you, I'm pretty sure, but that's always been on my list of things that I wanted.
But it was something different, I feel like, the last couple of quarters
The
where you
drawing
believed
desperation.
yourself. Yes. And I feel like you believed in yourself, like that it could happen. Like there was more, when I heard you talk about it, there was more conviction in your voice.
Right. So previous to this, there was always like I pretty much wanted to be a photographer all my life. But it was I came into photography from a place of life. What I work? I work for this company called PCS. They're out of business now, but they did all the Walmart and Kmart portrait studio stuff. So I came from a place where I had to convince people to spend $1.95, $1.95, and you got 105 pictures. So I was stuck in that mindset of nobody is going to pay this, that, and the other, whatever. So I never allowed myself to believe that I could really be successful at it. I was very much a hobbyist. I looked for other careers. So this year I really said, what are the steps that successful photographers take to get to there? And am I doing the steps? I had to get honest with myself. I wasn't doing the steps. I was wishing and hoping, and why can't I? And woe is me for all of these years leading up to it. We had some other stuff going on too, but I really put myself in positions where I was out of my comfort zone a lot, almost constantly, making connections, sending emails, being present, letting people see my face. What? But those are the steps that I needed to make, and I had to believe in myself in order to do it. So now that I've figured out that formula that worked, now I just have to believe in myself that I can repeat it and it wasn't just a fluke. And that part is actually kind of scary for me. So I'll be working on that, which is why I put wealth on my door on my vision board.
Whoop, whoop. No, I love it. And I would say for me in 23, there was other wins in 22. For the sake of time, I won't get into it, but the house was like the biggest win. But in 23, what I really want to do is focus on generating revenue through nachesnow.com and dreamsplans.com. Like I actually, there is a fire in my belly to do it even more so now because literally like I am on a super tight budget.
I tell you what, that fire in your belly will do some things.
It will. And we've had conversation about my nieces, and you've had a conversation about Maya and the kind of their future too. Like two of my nieces in a year and a half, they'll be out of school. And one in particular, Connie, who came down to see me, I'm sure she's going to need assistance too, like when she goes off to school. And so I really want to be able to help her. And then I also want to be able to do the stuff I want to do with this house. And then I also want to build my savings up because basically my savings was decimated in order for me to pay for the house, which is fine because that's why you save, right? You save in order to invest in things that are meaningful. And that will serve you later. And for me, this house will do exactly that. And so it's definitely worth the investment. But going back to our finance talk, people, you need to have savings for emergencies, right? And I'm not saying I don't have any savings left. It's just not where I want to be because things happen. And even just having a little bit of savings could go a long way in an emergency. So make sure that you have a savings and you really don't touch it unless you need it. And so I want to be able to do stuff for the house, help my niece out, and then really save money. And I want to make sure like whatever I'm doing whatever I'm doing to earn extra money is helping people too. Like, and it's something that I'm super passionate about. And so I think that is going to be the trick, is like seeing if what I'm pushing out and passionate about will generate the income I need to, or will I have to, for some reason, pivot into something else, but I really need to start generating that revenue. And so my thing is putting myself out there as much as possible in order to do that. Because I even have Craftcation coming up, and I'm going to that conference in April, and I'll be doing a session there. So I'm hoping that'll generate business.
I didn't know you were going to be doing a session. I thought you were just going.
No.
Oh, let's see.
Yeah, it's like a little productivity workshop.
That's excellent.
I'm super excited. And so that'll be a great networking event. And so, yeah, you should come.
I was like, she didn't invite me to go see her little demonstration of Craftcation. I'm wondering if you go back and listen to that voice memo again. I wonder if that worksheet will work for your class.
Yeah, I mean, I actually implemented that worksheet. It is a giveaway. I think people can sign up for it. I'll have to find it to see if I have a funnel for it. But speaking of Flowdesk,
Yeah.
but it is like a sheet, and I think it's in the back of the Life Cleanse journal too. But yeah, definitely, I'll probably use that for the workshop. But anywho, like for 2023, that is my thing, is to have an impact on the women in my current community, and doing it through helping people like achieve their goals and figuring out if it's via Notion templates, or if it's productivity consulting, or is it something else I just haven't thought of? I don't know. Is it a course? But yeah, just figuring that out. Yeah.
I know you're going to ask me what my goal is for 2023.
That's why I just gave you a look. Over to you, my friend.
Goal. What? I probably should have a goal. Let's see. How do I say stay on the current path? That's not a goal. That's not.
But no, it
is. It?
I was going to say it is you said it already, but it is replicating the last 3 months for an entire year. That is the goal, to have it consistently generating that revenue for the entire year of 2023, month after month.
Yeah, that's it. That's my goal.
And folks, if you all want to donate to paying for LaKaye's Craftcation ticket.
Oh my goodness. That would be amazing. And I won't consider myself crafty. I think we talked about this a while back on some of these podcasts, how I don't like to make things with my hands.
But the thing about it is, you have to go to conferences that are not photography related, so then you can meet people that would hire you. Like the people that'll be at Craftcation are crafty business women that need photographers.
No, don't misunderstand me.
Oh.
I'm not a crafty person myself. However, I love to be amongst the crafty. I love it. I absolutely love it. I collect crafty things. I have beads. I have fabric. I have glues of all kinds. I just don't sit down to do it. So I would absolutely love to have to sit there for a week and actually craft things, or look at craft things, or buy more craft things.
And the cool thing is they have half of the conferences craft courses and half are business courses.
Yeah, I want the craft.
I want both.
So yeah, I'm willingly taking donations. Whatever.
Yay. Yeah, hopefully they still have tickets. Let's see. It might be sold out. I love the sound of my keyboard.
Yes, we all do. Don't give me a fancy keyboard. Let me put that on my goals list for 2020. Keyboard. You know what's really cool? That there's a whole community, tribe, and business geared toward creative people. I think that is so cool. I think Craftcation is the coolest activity ever.
It is. It's April 19th to April 23rd. The early bird special is already over. Tickets are $649.
Well worth it, I'm sure. And where is it?
Ventura, California.
Oh, I'm gonna.
Sale ends in 2 days.
Oh boy! You guys get on it.
I know. This will probably post after.
Oh, next year.
Next year.
I would love to see you do a workshop in person. I would love it.
Yeah, too bad you can't come. You know what? What I'm gonna manifest is tomorrow you're gonna get a sale of like $5,000, and then You'll be like, okay, I'll spend $6.49 to go to Craftcation.
Yeah, totally. Absolutely. I will definitely plan it for next year because obviously, no, this is what you need to put in there. You need a budget for your personal photographer to fly out to photograph you conducting workshops for your new website.
That would be amazing. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me wrap this episode up because we're super long, so I'll have to see if I can cut it down or break it up. I hope that you guys found this to be useful. A future episode that I would love for LaKaye and I to do, of course, we'll continue through the new year doing the different wellness categories because I don't even think we're at the halfway mark yet. But I would love for us to do a favorite things episode where just like our favorite things that we purchased in 2022, like most expensive things, cheapest things, our favorite books, stuff like that. And I stole this a little bit from my favorite girls over at A Beautiful Mess.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Oprah.
Oh, and well, Oprah
How
is the
dare you?
OG.
How dare you?
I know, she's the OG.
I told you
That
I
is
was a
true.
bigger Oprah fan, but go ahead.
Oh, Oprah, don't believe that, Oprah. You want me on your network now. But I thought that would be cool because there are some things that I would love to share. And in a future episode too, maybe I'll talk a little bit more about my kind of how I use the moon phases. And I did give LaKaye in her holiday card some moon stickers to use in her planner. So that was pretty cool.
I love them. Aren't
they perfect? And they are the actual moon.
I saw
like
I
from
noticed.
NASA.
I noticed.
It's like so nerdy. I love it. And what I did is it's the actual moon, and then I just kind of made it where it'll show as like full and half. Like I had to put the shading on the moon, so the shading isn't an actual picture. I did the shading, but the moon is for real.
It's okay. I'm sure the people will forget. Are you offering this as something?
Oh, it's like stickers that I sell?
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't know how many people would actually purchase moon stickers.
Maybe but once you start explaining the moon phases and all that, turn them around here. I think they are so...
Yeah, this is like the full set where it has all the phases. I sent you... What I realized is I only really need the 4, like the full moon, half moon, new moon, and what am I missing? And the other one.
We don't need singing wanings.
Yeah, because I just need the new moon, first quarter moon, full moon, and then last quarter moon. But I had the waning and this and that, and I was like, this is too much. And like I put it on the calendar and I was like, I'm confused. And so I just used the 4 because that's what I use for planning anyway, and that works. So that's what I sent you.
And they're the perfect size too because they just fit in the little, they don't take up too much room because I put a lot of stickers in my planner. That's my favorite thing to do.
Yeah, so. Like I'm about to today start planning for January, and I have the moons already in there. Ooh. Like this coming Friday is, I think, a new moon. Is Friday a new moon? I think it's a new moon. The 6th? No, full moon. Yeah, it's a full moon Friday. So anywho, to wrap up, just know you're going to hear more from us in 2023. And I'm going to have more guests on too. Actually, January 1st, I'm going to schedule some emails to go out for some women that I think will be great for this. I'm just going to continue this season. I'm not going to say next season because I really didn't finish this current season. And we're just going to keep on going. And I hope you guys are ready for 2023. If you have any specific questions about anything related to productivity and getting ready for 2023, send me a voice message because I still haven't gotten a voice message from people. shaysnow.com/studio78. You go to my main podcast page and it says send a voice message to Nache. All you have to do is hit the start recording. Because it's recording, it's going to say, do you give this SpeakPipe permission to record? You say yes. And then record a question for us to answer in 2023, people.
Maybe they should win a sticker or something.
I know. The first person to do that, I will send some moon stickers to, as long as you're in the U.S.
It totally wouldn't be worth it to send that little sticker internationally.
Kenya, and the postage will be like $30
Right.
for. But yeah, any parting words?
I just have to say that this has been my favorite episode so far out of all of them that we've done. I feel like there was so much good information and actionable steps, and it had everything. It had joy, tears, everything was there. And I'm so happy that we're ending the 2022 off with this episode. I think it's great. Other thing I want to say is my child's an actress, so she's trying to be very present in all of this stuff going on back here. But
photobomb.
Right, constantly. The other thing I want to say is that I think you should ask your listeners, especially when you put this on Instagram or whatever you're going to do, what their 2023 goal is, or what was their biggest win from 2022.
Done.
Okay.
All right, everybody. If you love the Studio 78 podcast, please head on over to Apple Podcasts and rate me 5 stars. If you're listening somewhere else like YouTube, please give me a thumbs up or whatever their highest rating system is. Subscribe. And please make sure that you leave a comment, leave a message, and just chat with us. Anyway, thanks again, and Happy New Year!